What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Thursday evening's transfer news roundup. Today, we're going to be speaking about Giovanni Leone as he is in Liverpool undergoing the first part of his medical. We're going to speak about Alexis McAllister and him signing for Liverpool, what Jurgen had to say and what role he played in that signing. We'll speak a little bit about MARC, Ibrahim KONATE, and we'll try to keep you up to date with Newcastle's pursuit of attacking reinforcements that could, of course, help Liverpool get Isak. So that and lots more to come over the next few minutes. I will, of course, be live tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. I hope you can join me for that one. And tomorrow, don't forget, the Premier League kicks off. The Reds will be in action. 8 p.m. kickoff tomorrow night against Bournemouth. We will be live from 6:45 p.m. right here. Right, let's get straight into it. And this piece from Ben Jacobs said that Bournemouth advance in talks to sign Bayer Leverkusen's Moroccan forward Admin Adli. Leverkusen are seeking about 26 million and an agreement is close. Now, why does this matter for Liverpool? Well, because he's viewed as a replacement for Utara, who could go and allow Visa then to move from Brentford. So yeah, loads of dominoes basically here. But one club might get another forward, which means they might let go of another forward, which means, well, we might be a little step closer to signing Alexander Isak. Right, let's move on. Next up, my friends, we're going to speak about Giovanni Leone. We knew that Giovanni was flying in today for his medical. DiMarzio has posted some images, maybe you've seen them online, of him at the airport in Parma, heading across to Liverpool. And we will give you the, well, official announcement, of course, of Leone as and when we get it. Now, this piece here from Dario AS said, the chances of Real Madrid launching a last-minute offer to try to sign Ibrahim KONATE are increasing. Liverpool signing MARC and Leone could open the door for KONATE's departure. And look, I don't know what happens with KONATE, but I have to say, if we do push ahead to sign MARC, and of course, we're bringing in Giovanni Leone, I would assume that that's because KONATE isn't going to sign the new deal. So I can't say this as a matter of fact because it is just an opinion, but I can't help but feel that the futures of MARC and Ibrahim KONATE are inextricably linked in this summer's transfer window, especially as we've already made the play for Leone. So we knew that we sold Kwanzaa, we were going to have a young replacement, that is Giovanni Leone. But this part, I feel it does come down to what happens with Ibrahim KONATE. So if we don't hear a contract extension soon and you hear Liverpool moving from MARC, I think we know why. Right, maybe you disagree with that, by the way, and I'm not trying to say, again, this is a fact, but it is the way I'm reading the situation. So, Alex Crook said, I've spoke to somebody who's worked closely with Giovanni Leone at Parma, and he thinks he can go on to become as good as Virgil van Dijk. High praise indeed. Lewis Steele speaking a little bit about the future of Federico Chiesa, which is still up in the air. This piece here said, sources in Italy reckon that Federico Chiesa will return to his homeland in the final weeks of the summer window, though Liverpool do not want to sanction his exit before sourcing replacements. So does this mean if Isak comes in and we let Chiesa go, there'll be another attacking reinforcement? I mean, let's wait and see, but certainly how I read that situation there. Vinny O'Connor, speaking about MARC and Liverpool and where we are with this one, said talks between Crystal Palace and Liverpool continue to try to find some type of compromise. Liverpool have far from given up on signing MARC this summer. So as you can see, yesterday Vinny and Sky were reporting that maybe MARC stays there, but like we said, there was a mix of reporting yesterday. Hard to really say which one's right because, again, I don't know if the situation is fully resolved. I think KONATE's future kind of does hold the key to all of it. Lewis Steele said Crystal Palace know that MARC is keen on moving to Liverpool and the clubs are confident that a deal can be struck despite the fact that Steve Parish is keen to drive a hard bargain. Look, Steve Parish is kind of backed into a corner somewhat here. He either loses him for free in a year or takes a lower figure than he wants. And he's not stupid. He's an intelligent man. He knows that if MARC moves this summer, is better than him losing him for nothing, no matter what he gets, whether it's 30, 35 or 40. So again, wait and see how this one resolves. Newcastle believe that Liverpool are about to make a £130 million bid for Isak soon. Well, again, we'll need some encouragement, won't we? So if Newcastle would like Liverpool to bid for Isak, I'm sure maybe picking up the phone and saying, hey, this time we're ready, would see that move along quite quickly. Alexis McAllister speaking to the Players Tribune about his move to Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, and, well, the whole process, said, I'll never forget, we went to Luton, we drew 1-1, and when we got to the dressing room afterwards, we knew we had played badly. But then Jurgen came in and delivered a message that we really needed to hear. He said, my old midfield would have had the balls to go and win that game. That is the type of stuff I love to hear, because I know everything's all nicey nice and public and managers have to say all the right things, but in a dressing room, in the heat of battle, that's exactly what those players needed to hear, and Alexis, a World Cup winner, had no problem hearing it. On the move to Liverpool, Alexis said this: at the end of that season, Jurgen came to me. Actually, it was a bit of a James Bond situation, he said. He flew down and we met in secret some way halfway between Liverpool and Brighton. I was a bit shocked that he did that for me. I had won a World Cup, but I wasn't a star at all. We had a coffee and he explained to me that he really wanted me to come to Liverpool because I reminded him a bit of Gundogan, who he developed at Dortmund, one of the best box-to-box midfielders in the world. Next up, a beautiful gesture, I have to say, and congratulations to Chelsea and their fans and everybody involved in their football club for this gesture, because it is truly, truly fantastic. So the Athletic have reported that Chelsea have allocated £11.4 million from the fund paid to them for winning the Club World Cup to the siblings family of Diogo Jota and, of course, his brother Andre Silva, which is just truly remarkable. They made about £84 million, and each player is giving about £368 million to this fund for Diogo Jota's family, which is truly, truly exceptional. So thank you to Chelsea. David Ornstein said Newcastle United reached an agreement with Aston Villa to sign Jacob Ramsey. The deal for the 24-year-old midfielder, worth about £39 million fixed and $5 million in add-ons. The Englishman is travelling to make his medical at the minute. Personal terms in the final process of being sorted. Arne, sometimes I do that still, especially when I'm talking about pressers. Arne Slot, speaking about the game tomorrow, and Joe Gomez said, Joe, I have to make a decision on that. He missed a lot of pre-season, trained twice, but the Palace game, 2 teenagers, so there's possibility, he might be on the bench. On Szoboszlai, he said he can play both roles really well. There are things he can improve, but what stands out with Dom is how he presses. Not many better than him in the world for that. He can find space as a 10, maybe the end product with through balls, and if he plays the ball in, he needs to have, if he plays the ball behind, he needs to adjust, but he's had a good pre-season. Speaking about Bournemouth, our manager had this to say: I took over a team that had only 2 weeks to prepare because of the Euros and the Copa America. Every season has its challenges. This challenge this year, if we've lost many starters and brought in many good talented players, it is the teams we face too. Bournemouth, who are probably the most intense team in the league for running, then Newcastle and Arsenal, which sums up the league. Bournemouth are intense. We won 3-0 at Anfield, but if you look at the game, they scored, which was fractionally offside, and then 3 times we were very fast in moving the ball back to front. At half-time, we were 3-0 up. In Holland, I think that it's 5-0, but they kept going at half-time. That is their mentality. So away, it was very difficult. So good team, good manager. Speaking about Mark Gay, the Daily Mail have had this to say. Liverpool and Crystal Palace are confident that a deal can be struck for Mark Gay, despite Steve Parish wanting to cash in. This says Palace are said to want more than 35 million for the England international, who's out of contract next summer. In the report, they go on to say that Liverpool are keen on the move and, of course, have a separate move in the works for Giovanni Leone. So, again, confidence there that a deal can be struck between Liverpool and Crystal Palace. And finally, Lee Ryder said Newcastle still trying to do the Johan Visa deal and another striker, not helped at all by the uncertainty surrounding Alexander Isak. We could help with it, Lee. If they sold us Isak, there'd be no more uncertainty, right? You're very welcome. So that is it for now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give you the latest on Leone as and when we have it. You know, it's usually a 2-day process, the medical. But he is in Liverpool and he is undergoing it as we speak. So we will see you tonight at 8:45. And don't forget, tomorrow, the Premier League kicks off. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.